Hello, everyone. My name is Alan Posey, and welcome to Knowing Real Estate with the Posey Group. My co-host is Art Meister, and we're here today to talk about real estate and, of course, knowing real estate. Let me give you a little history about myself. I started in real estate a little over 20 years ago, and I started out as a sales agent, struggling, trying to find clients and build a real estate practice. I got my real estate license and grew my career and became quite successful, was in management with a big firm in San Antonio called Coldwell Banker, D&N Harper Realtors. Spent a few years there and then went back into sales and do a little bit of training with Champion School of Real Estate, teach a lot of continuing education courses with Champions, and also sell real estate and also do some coaching with Coldwell Banker, D&N Harper Realtors as well. And together, Art and I have created this coaching podcast. Well, not just coaching, but we do a lot of other stuff with this podcast, which we'll elaborate on in a few seconds. But I want to let Art introduce himself. So, Art, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Alan. My name's Art Meister. And at the same time that Alan was working his real estate business and getting that up and running, I took the investment side and bought, sold, and flipped over 100 properties. Many of those properties, I used Alan as my agent.
That's right.
And that helped him, and it helped me. So we've been together quite a while. After that, I sold new homes for a couple years until I got my real estate license. And I've had my license about 8 years, and it's all been with Coldwell Banker.
Absolutely. And together, Art and I have, we've experienced all sorts of stuff in the real estate industry over the last few years. And we thought it'd be a good idea to start this podcast, not just for coaching purposes, but also just to share our experience in real estate. And one of the purposes, obviously, one of the primary purposes of our podcast is to share ideas on how to become better sales professionals in the real estate industry. How do you feel about that, Art?
I think it's a great idea, Alan. As you know, there's an 87% failure rate in our business. And so we're looking, obviously, for that 13%. If you want to be part of that, then we think this could help you, and we'd love to have you tune in.
Absolutely. One of the things you're going to see through these podcasts is we're going to share ideas. Art and I have a tremendous amount of not only real estate experience, but also sales experience. And we're going to share ideas on everything on how to prospect for new clients, how to, maybe get those current clients that you have and groom them and make them loyal clients to you so they continue to do business with you. But yeah, it's a program, a comprehensive coaching program that's going to help you become successful, not only at the beginning of your career, but throughout your career, and help you prosper and become very successful in the long term. But this program and this podcast is not only for, again, real estate sales agents out there, it's also for the consumer. Hopefully this podcast will educate the consumer on how to buy and sell homes. And I think, Art, don't you think we can help people do that?
Well, I'm pretty sure we can. I mean, we've been doing it for a while.
Absolutely.
And this is just taking another step.
And Art's bought and sold over 100 homes besides the homes he's living in. But and Art's worked a lot with a lot of buyers and sellers in the market. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you've helped people both in the new home sales and on the pre-owned home sales?
Well, when I first got started, Alan, as you know, the one concern I had was writing a contract and using the TREC form. So the easiest thing for me was to go out and sell new homes and let the sales counselors, which I was on their side of the desk, it was easier to let them write the contract. I knew what the contract said in most cases and just boned up on that, let them write it, and just help my people buy homes.
Absolutely. And then, on my end, I was more familiar with the pre-owned owned homes, and I worked with a lot of buyers and sellers, and it was just a fun business. Now, one of the things I did learn early in my career was, listers are lasters. And what I started learning was, hey, when you start working with sellers, you're in more control over your own destiny. So one of the things I think you're going to see beneficial in this podcast from a sales agent standpoint is we're going to talk a lot about building the seller side. But if you're a consumer, both as a buyer's agent and a seller's agent, we're going to represent those buyers well, and we're going to show buyers how to negotiate deals and represent them on their behalf. But we're going to show sellers how to get the most for their home in the shortest amount of time because of our experience both as buyer's agents and as seller's agents. Another thing we want to talk about is talent acquisition and maybe why you should join our firm. That's real important to us as well because Art and I are proud members of a really highly respected firm in the San Antonio marketplace. Art, how do you feel about that?
Well, we're always looking for good people, Alan.
Absolutely.
We've been doing that together for 25 years. And that's pretty amazing. Alan was also the first person I met when I came to San Antonio in 1999. So we've had a long-term friendship, and oftentimes your best friendships make your best working relationships, and we're quite proud of that.
Absolutely. And one of the things we always want to do and we want to encourage is if you're interested in a great real estate career, we can point you in a lot of directions. We can show you where to get your training so you can take and pass your licensing exam. We can take you and show you where you can get your coaching and where you can become well trained and well coached to build your practice. And both using our podcast and also taking training through our firm, you'll be a top-notch real estate agent with our company. Because, Art, I'm going to let you finish this up because tell them what we say.
Well, with Coldwell Banker, we believe who you work with matters. And that being said, that's why we're the biggest brokerage firm in the world. And we're proud of that also. And we've got all the support and necessary tools to provide to our clients, both on the seller side and the buyer side. We have processes in place and we have programs in place to really educate the salesperson and get them off to a good start. That combined with our rental properties, our property management group actually feeds plenty of leads to us as agents. If we don't want to work the rental program, every now and then you find buyers in there too. So it helps our agents get off to a great start.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'll close with, again, who you work with matters is kind of our tagline, but it really does. And here's the point I'll make before we leave for today's podcast is if you look at your business model, I don't care if you're a new agent or an experienced agent. If you're a new agent, when you start your career, you don't have a lot of money to spend. But what do you have? You have a whole lot of time. And when you're an experienced agent, you're successful, you're making a whole lot of money, you've got money to spend, you've got money to invest in your career, but you don't have a whole lot of time. Guess what? Our business model and our value proposition addresses both those issues. We have the systems in place. We have the tools and we have the support to support the new agent that doesn't have a whole lot of money to invest in their career and invest in their marketing to help them build their practice. At the same time, we have the tools and systems and the support in place to help that experienced agent save some time so that they can go out and have an experience of life and the quality of life they want because they're already making money, they're already successful, but they need to use their time more wisely because they need a work-life balance. So again, who you work with matters. Again, tune into our podcast. We'd love to see you every week. Subscribe right here.
Subscribe here, click the button below, give us a like, and tune in for our podcasts. We are looking forward to publishing one podcast a week, and we look forward to seeing you back here.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.